this time, we would like to invite up your best man. Give it up for Steve Zorn.
Steve, here we go.
Thanks for coming out. I know a lot of people have traveled a long way to be here, and I'm just happy everybody can make it. And I want to thank Justin and Rachel for making today possible. I know that a lot of planning went into it, and I think it turned out great, so real happy about that. I met Justin back in 1999 at a baseball tryout camp in Florida. It was a week-long camp, and we became pretty good friends right away. And we ended up, there were 4 guys signed out of this tryout. There were about 65 guys at this tryout. And Justin and I were 2 of the 4 that actually got signed. So we went on to play professional baseball, and unfortunately didn't make it to the big leagues. But our paths crossed again a couple years later out here in LA. We were playing in an adult baseball league. And I was playing first base, and I saw Justin at the plate, and I saw a bunch on the back of his jersey, and I said, I wonder if that's the same guy from the tryout camp. So he came down to first, and I said, are you the guy from Florida? And he said, yeah, I was at that camp. Who the hell are you? And so I guess I didn't make the best impression on him. But, you know, we've been hanging out ever since, and we've been good friends ever since. And Rachel came along a couple years later. And people say when 2 people meet each other that they eventually change a little bit, and I think that's true to a certain degree. But the change that I saw most was in the bachelor pad of Justin. Let me explain what I mean. When I first started hanging out again with Justin out here, he had recently purchased his home, and he was a big Scarface fan, and he had this big poster in the main living room of Scarface. The main living room, yeah. And it was really cool, and everybody really liked it. And Rachel came along, and I walked in one day, and that poster was gone. And I said, hey, what happened to the Scarface poster? And he said, yeah, that's in the garage. And I said, all right, I understand. So a couple of weeks later, I was over, and in that same room where the poster was, we used to play pool, and he had this really sweet pool table. And I walked in, and the pool table was gone. And I said, what happened to the pool table? Where are we going to hang and play pool? And he said, yeah, it's in the garage. So a couple weeks later, I go over again, and we went to we used to play video games in the back room. And it's now the guest bedroom, but we would play video games back there. So I went back there, and again, I was surprised when I walked in and there were no video games there to play. And I said, hey, what happened to the video games? It's in the garage. So it just makes you think maybe by the time they come back from their honeymoon, Justin may be moved into the garage. And probably the rest of the home will be painted pink by then. However, there is one room in the house that has remained unchanged since I knew Justin, and that is his office, or as I like to call it, Justin's personal shrine. If you haven't been over there, let me explain what I mean. There are pictures on the wall, covering the walls, of Justin hitting home runs. All the way up from Little League to high school, college, into pro ball, and then into adult league. And like the video showed, he was lucky enough to hit a couple home runs in Dodger Stadium, Angel Stadium, and he actually had these huge pictures on the wall of him hitting the home runs with about 50,000 people superimposed in Dodger Stadium and Angel Stadium. Ray Bunch, that was you. Okay, cool. Good job. Who's that guy? We're getting heckled, Ray. But anyways, I have something for you guys that I think will go up on that wall, and we'll put all those other pictures to shame. This says Justin's #1 home run. It's a picture of Justin and Rachel. Because a couple hours ago, Justin hit the biggest home run of his life by marrying Rachel. And I'm just so happy for both of you guys. And I wish you guys all the best. And on that note, everybody please grab a glass and raise a glass to Justin and Rachel. Yep. Unfortunately, I don't have one, but...
Right.
Cheers.
Let's hear it one more time for Steve. Noise, everybody.